Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be talking about the one and only Toshi coin. Haven't made a video on this in a while, so decided, hey, why not, show Toshi some love. And if you guys can show some love in return, that's just fantastic. Listen, we're going to be streaming every single day, most likely between 7 and 8 p.m. EST, except for technically today, because it's my cousin's birthday. But listen, we're going to cover some news for Toshi, and then we're going to cover the charts of where is a good price to buy and what to expect next with this coin. So we can see if we go to Toshi's Twitter, we're at 109,000 followers. All right, that is what we love to see, right? We can see that we're excited to announce Toshi's now available on this app, right? 415,000 followers. So absolutely, it ain't no joke. With over 50 million users globally, this app is a major gateway for access to Toshi, right? You can either choose the Toshi pill or not. So yeah, that is it in terms of the news. I mean, it's pretty damn big. It's pretty nice, right? Giveaway not too long ago, but I think, yeah, 48 hours. So, I could be covering this coin more often. Like I said, if you guys do enjoy it, just let me know. Now, the last two times we covered it, we actually called out great prices. So if I remember correctly, I go by market cap. We could also go by price, but I know there's like a billion zeros. So yeah. So if we actually go by market cap, ladies and gentlemen, right, we can see that last time I actually called Toshi out roughly at 100 million to 130 million or something. I remember talking about this zone, and this was like when we were starting to go down. I said this area is going to be a great key area to buy, and then I didn't look at this for a long time, and then boom, I come back and I remember Toshi was literally right here. It was like right here. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a buy for Toshi, right, this area is going to be a very nice key area, right? Number one, we have an order block, but we're also creating some type of support and resistance type scenario. And I was like, listen, expect a pump. And you guessed it, a couple days later, we went back down and then we started to go absolutely nuclear. And ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you, right? This coin is manipulated. This coin is manipulated, and this is actually fantastic. This is manipulated in a very good way, and you should be happy. The reason why I can tell you this is manipulated is because this went right into an institutional candle, right? This type of candle, this institutional candle over here is called what I call a bank candle, right? It is the best type of manipulation candles there are. I use it all the time for trading. That is how I make money with trading, right? They're just beautiful. So I can see Toshi has that. We can obviously see that Toshi has been creating lower lows over the last few days. Now, if you've been watching my Bitcoin videos, you know that I've been talking about how there were going to be market pullbacks. And we can just see, right? Toshi's falling very simple fundamentals. Boom, lower high, lower high, lower high, and then we went down. So where's Toshi going to pull back next? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe Toshi still has a decent way to drop. I believe Toshi is going to retrace another 20, I'm going to say 27 to 33%. Now, the reason why I say this is because, ladies and gentlemen, when we look at it, we can see that Toshi is actually going into an institutional candle, right? An institutional candle. So even if we're just to tap off of this at the very top of the institutional candle, that's going to be like 20 to 23% retracement. Usually, historically, it goes a little bit deeper, right? So I expect a couple more percent. But if we also go on the monthly, right? If we go on the monthly, right? Boom. If we take the top of this monthly candle and then we pull it out, we can see that this is technically good enough. Now, if we also go to the daily, right? We have this daily candle, which I'm not really counting, to be honest, but this zone is going to be the key zone. So we can see, boom, I expect a minimum 17.5% retracement, and it's very likely that we go all the way to minus 27%. We could dip a little bit further if there's going to be like a mega big spike. But overall, this is your buying area right over here. The 168 million market cap zone to roughly 190 million, right? You see this purple zone, in my opinion, not a financial advisor, but you should start dollar cost averaging or bet your money where your mouth is and be like, all right, I'm buying it, right? I'm buying it. Now, in terms of the price, that is going to be, if we go and pull down the box a little bit lower, it was somewhere over here. That's going to be like the 0.0004 area, roughly, right? So just be paying attention to that. Now, if we go back to the market cap area, because this is disgusting, right? Even though I could just technically do remove drawings, I expect this coin to be pumping very, very, very nicely. I really, really do. We could just even use a simple trend line. I expect this coin to come back down, right? And I expect it to recover quickly and then make very, very big moves. Now, where's Toshi going to go next? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have another institutional candle right over here. So I think at the bare minimum, it should be looking at roughly a 3 to 4x, right? We tap over here, we go up here, right? 200% is like 3x, but overall, it is going to be making its way up, right? Toshi is going to be breaking these all-time highs this cycle. Now, how high is Toshi going to go this cycle? Well, it's a little hard to say. So far, in terms of how many followers they have, they are killing it, right? The question is more not necessarily Toshi, but it's more about base, right? If base does not really become meta, then this coin will still perform. I still think even if you bought right now, you can probably get a 10x at the minimum, right? That 10 to 15x mark. If you buy at a discount, right, that's already increasing your odds. If there's going to be a base meta, then coins like Brett and Toshi are going to be in the spotlight. Now, I would debate that Toshi could have an extra edge because Toshi has a lower market cap than Brett, right? And what do people want more? They want more money. So if they want a better ratio, taking the gamble on something like Toshi could actually be very, very likely, right? We see Toshi, 226 million market cap. We go to Brett. We can see Brett does have 540, so roughly double, right? It would take a 10x here would require a lot. A 10x for Toshi would require only half of what it does for, Turbo, or sorry, for Brett. So yeah, I really do think there's more upside in terms of gain potential. And like I said, if there is going to be a meta, then we could definitely be going up to even 50x. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but you got to remember there's going to be extremely, extremely large amounts of money if this coin is going to be spotlight because of the whole base meta. Then this coin is going to be pumping those extra hundreds of millions of market cap, the extra few billion in market cap. I'm telling you, the world is not ready. Toshi fans are not ready. Of course, we will update you with the analysis when we are pumping hard, right? Only time will tell if we are truly right. But that is my price prediction, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye. Portfolio reviews, economic and global updates and news, frequent up-to-date technical analysis, and a very supportive community. Sell and buy calls and trading education is provided. If that sounds good to you, now is the time to act. Once the markets start moving, there is no I should have, coulda, woulda. Now is the time. If you want to take things to another level, we have the blueprint that covers everything from A to Z in crypto that you need. No fluff, no bullshit, just the most important news, fundamentals, and technicals to have you succeed in these markets.